All right, we continue on with the forgotten one. Richard Dickie Munson. Dickie started surfing when he was 6 years old in 1959 at 14th Street in Cocoa Beach. Told me he never went north. That was taboo. Didn't want to mix up with those guys. He was staying from there down to Patrick Air Force Base. He shared one surfboard with his two brothers and sisters for 5 years. Talk about suffering succotash. His first surfboard came along in 1965. It was an 8-foot Surfboards Hawaii. In the 66, he joined the Surfboards Hawaii team, competing in the boys division and traveling and winning numerous events during the late 60s. But he was destined to become involved in the surfboard building business, with his first job foiling fins for Catchery in 1970 and having the great fortune to move to Kauai in 1971. Over in 71, he got a job with a board builder who built everything. And the story is that this guy, his name was Rick Value, made boards exclusively for the infamous Bunker Spreckles. Now, Bunker had more money than any of us in this room will ever make. And he wanted a surfboard for each and every idea that came across his mind. And Rick Value made them. And he incorporated Dickie Munson to help him do that. And that became a foundation of how many rails and outlines and bottom contours and fins, and most bizarre. Dickie told me they had a backyard that was something like 80 surfboards, none of them the same, laying around. Bunker Spreckles was eccentric. He returned to Florida in 72, started shaping for himself and a few friends, which led to a job at the Primo Surf Shop in Cocoa Beach, shaping boards with Catchery and Carson. This evolved into a job with Mike Tabling. Tabling was making surfboards for some heavy names, Jeff Crawford, Nat Young, and Sean Thompson. And they had exacting specifications on how they wanted their boards done. And that fell to Richard Munson. And that was a great learning curve. I mean, working with those legends who knew surfboard shape, what they wanted to put under their feet, and they entrusted Dickie Munson to make those boards for them. In the 80s and 90s, he became established as a shaper with Quiet Flight surfboards, ultimately hand-shaping over 25,000 boards in his career. He mentored young shapers coming up, all members of the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame, Matt Keckley, Richie Rudolph, and Bill Johnson. But one thing, I talked to Richie Rudolph earlier tonight, and he told me what I kind of felt and knew. I don't know Richard that well, but we've had some great conversation. But this gentleman harbors the spirit of aloha. All of those that he has mentored, he has done so with open arms, open heart, and couldn't be more friendly and more dedicated to passing on what he knows. And everybody loves Richard Munson. Let's show some love for Richard Munson.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Woo. Who are you talking about? Well, I gotta say, my buddy, is this working good? Yes. Okay, my buddy Fred Grostreitz, who's no longer here with us. I got to know Fred pretty early on, and one of the things, we kind of had a kindred spirit with some things, and one of them was we were talking about, he liked to talk about Indians, okay? He said, there was these certain tribes that they believed that if you took their they believed that if you had their picture taken, it took away from their soul, okay? And I was like, I like that. And I remember people, this is hippie days, right? Late 60s, early 70s. And I'd lived in a treehouse, by the way, for a while in Hawaii. And my neighbors didn't wear much clothes. All right? So anyway, Fred says, that's a good goal to have. And I'm like, I guess it could be. Well, guess what, Fred? This totally blows that goal away. I mean, we blew it. We're failures on that, okay? Because I did end up getting a couple pictures and a couple bit of recognition. But honestly, in high school and as a kid, and you've seen some of those pictures of me, a little kid, it'll be 60 years this coming March that I first stood up on a surfboard. 60 years. Okay, that's a long time doing anything. All right? And guess what? I still, when I have that opportunity to go out, I still have that joy and excitement that I had as a little kid. All right? It's still that fun to me. So anyway, how am I doing on the time? Doing okay? All right. Keep going. Don't stop. All right. So anyway, yeah, hurry it up. Don't quit. So I better get out my notes because I'm running out of time. This is very professional, isn't it? Okay. By the way, so I know on the video, I don't know how many saw it, but it had Hunter, I think, closes it with saying, and he still rips. Okay, now when you hear that and you're my age, okay, and you realize the reality, okay, I carry around a picture every once in a while with me. You won't be able to see it, but this is the picture, okay? Friend sent it to me a while back. We were out. She sent some other pretty cool shots, and then she sent this one. I go, I thought you might want this one too. So it's me on about a wave about this big, and I'm not boogie boarding, okay? I'm not body surfing. I wasn't able to get up, all right? So any of you guys that have had that reality yet, you can relate, okay? I was like feeling fit and trim and good. I took off, and all of a sudden I'm at the bottom of the wave, and I'm like, what the heck? You know, and it just happened. So anyway, good deal. Yeah. All right. So with in all due respect, I do want to finalize this by saying, you know, there's so many people I could thank and go on, and I'm going to run myself out of time quickly here, but I do want to mention a few names. Starting, and I'm not going to give any detail on these people, I'm just going to go through their names. Michael Shea, Mike Tabling, Ed Cardis, Bruce Veluzzi, the Sharp family, Fletcher, Shea, and Big Buddy, Sam Gornto, John and Nikki Price, Rick Value, Jerry Law, sitting right there, Rick Proska, Bob Carson, Larry Pope, Freddie Grosskreutz, Bob Seaback, Ed and Jim Leisure, Tom Williams. They have all been instrumental in getting me to where I am. It's been an amazing journey. There's been obviously hundreds and thousands of other people and connections and combination of things that have helped put me here. And I will say that right in front of me right here is my two sons and my beautiful wife. And I do want to... I will say that, you know, life at times, it seems all wonderful and good. You see all this stuff, but, you know, and I've had some beautiful, beautiful things happen in my life, but I've also had some terrible, terrible times. And in the year 2000 was hands down my worst year ever. In May of 2000, my mother passed away. And then unfortunately, a few months later in November, my oldest son, their older brother, 23 years of age, I was working at Universal Studios right over here, and I got a call first thing in the morning, and it wasn't a good call. And I will end with saying that, you know, everybody has rain come down in their life. And the question is, where are you going to look, and who are you going to look to? And I look to my friends and my family and my Savior. And I tell you what, I'm moving on. I'm pressing on. And I would encourage you, all of you, to keep that in your hearts, that nothing can hold you back. Thank you very much.